Here with Michael Joseph, Olympic qualifier and Indoor Nationals qualifier in the 400 coming up. Michael, why track?
Well, I started track because of my family. My father was a track athlete, my uncle was a track athlete, and they just kind of just pushed me into it at the age of 9 years.
If you hear that accent, Michael's from St. Lucia, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between St. Lucia and Lawrence?
Consistent weather.
That's it?
Back over, yeah.
That's it?
I mean, that's just one reason that came to my head.
I like that.
Yeah.
And tell me your favorite track memory so far.
My favorite track memory would have to be last year at Big 12 when I went sub 45. I think that was the changing point in my career.
And how confident are you heading into nationals?
I'm very confident. I'm always confident in my abilities, and that's what I think makes me perform well.
Here with Devin Loudermilk. He's headed to nationals in the high jump. He told me he was once the only high jumper on his entire track team. So that begs the question, Devin, why track?
I played basketball growing up. I was a hooper. I wanted to play basketball at KU all the time. So, I just tried track out because I was a hurdler. And then one day my coach asked me, he said, "Hey, can you high jump?" And I was just like, "Coach, I cannot high jump." Next day we tried it, and I was pretty all right at it. So I started doing it since then.
That all started in Howard, Kansas. You said, what, 500 people?
Yeah, about 570 people, 20 people in my class.
Okay, he said he can drive through there in 15 seconds, which is like twice as long as it takes you to jump, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Give me your favorite track memory so far.
So far, I think my favorite track memory would be last year, my first Indoor Nationals meet. Just clearing 221 or 7.3 my first attempt. And just the trust that Coach Hayes had in me. It was a crazy moment because that was my PR at the time. And going out and jumping that at the national meet just felt amazing.
And give me your confidence level heading into this one.
My confidence level is 10 out of 10 right now. I'm feeling good after Big 12s, and hopefully we can just keep it rolling throughout the week.
With Clayton Sims, one of 3 pole vaulters headed to nationals. Clayton, why track?
For me, I feel like the question is kind of why pole vault, because I started out as a gymnast for about 6 years growing up, and that was always it wasn't necessarily track, but it was like that would probably be a natural transition for me. So when I went out to track practice, the first thing I asked was, where do I go to pole vault?
What's your favorite track memory, or pole vault memory, I guess is the case?
I can't really pick one. I always kind of say it's like the last one that I had. I mean, I won my first championship about 2 weeks ago, so I mean that was a big deal for me. But we just build on it every single time, so I mean that's really the deal.
And then this is a stupid question after that, but where's your confidence level heading into nationals?
High. I mean, Coach Hayes prepares us better than I think anybody in the world, and I think going into this meet, I always have the highest of confidence.
Sophomore Ashton Bartle, another pole vaulter. Ashton, simple question: why track?
So, like you mentioned, everybody was football, basketball, and I was the football kid. I always loved football, and every season I always broke something or sprained something, and then I decided, I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. I can go do what I love, and that's to run fast and stuff like that and jump, and I don't get hurt when I do it. Knock on wood, you know. But so it's kind of like I had the decision, football or track, and track I didn't get hurt, and football I always got hurt. So it's like might as well go be healthy.
You remember that first trip down the runway and getting air and feeling that feeling? What was that like?
So yeah, it was awesome, but I started really late. I was like middle of my junior track season, so that's April or March, April, May-ish, and I was running, always a sprinter, and then practice where I was getting over like in 40 minutes. So I was like, it's not boring, but I was like, I want something else to do while I'm out here. And I was watching the pole vaulters, and I was like, I think I could do that. My dad was the coach, and he was coaching my little brother who had just started. And I was like, well, I can do anything he can do. So it just that's where it all began. And then I was like, okay, this is kind of fun, and I don't suck at it. So might as well see where it'll take me.
You don't suck, and it's taking you to nationals. How excited are you about that?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I feel I'm very fortunate to be here, and I know my ranking, I was the last person to get in, but I feel like I deserve to be there, and I feel like I can give all those other guys a run for their money for sure, so I'm excited for it.
Here with freshman Mason Minershagen. She's heading to nationals in the pole vault as well, and I gotta ask you, Mason, why track?
Why track? Okay, well, I just have always loved to be in sports growing up. I did gymnastics and soccer and diving pretty competitively, and started doing track in middle school, and I kind of fell in love with it. I like that it's a sport in which you can like build on your own like personal progression, but also like work with your teammates and build each other up and hold each other accountable. So I like that it's an individual sport in some aspects, but also a big team bonding experience as well.
When did pole vault become your focus then?
Pole vault became my focus probably it was around middle school. So I was doing gymnastics and soccer and diving then, and I got introduced into pole vaulting. My mom signed me up for a camp, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and I stopped doing all my other sports and just put my focus on pole vaulting.
Your favorite track memory so far, or pole vault memory?
Okay, I'll give you both. So my favorite track memory has just been traveling with the team. So this is my first time being able to go to like very competitive competitions with the team. Like in high school, it's just myself and my parents, but it's been cool to like have a group to go with and get ready together and just go out there and compete the best we can together. So it's been awesome. And then like pole vault, my favorite memory so far was definitely at conference with my PR, and then that was the most competitive field I've ever been in my life, and there were so many good athletes out there, and I was just happy to be a part of it and happy to take home second place. So it was just an awesome experience.
And you're going to see a lot of that at Nationals
Yes,
too.
definitely.
How's your confidence right now heading into this big meet, biggest one you've been a part of?
I feel really good right now. I'm super excited and anxious to go out there, so I'm ready to give it my all.